Welcome to my channel, everyone. If you're new here, I'm your host, and today we're diving into one of the most horrifying survival stories in true crime history, the case of Mary Vincent, a young girl who endured unspeakable brutality and still found the strength to fight back. Her story is one of horror, survival, and justice, and it would change the legal system forever. A ruthless predator, a desperate escape, and a survivor who defied death itself. Stay with me as we unravel the case of Mary Vincent, a name that stands as a testament to the power of survival. It was a dark and quiet road in California on the night of September 30th, 1978. A newlywed couple was driving, lost in conversation, when something appeared in their headlights. A bloodied figure, barefoot, naked, staggering toward them. Her arms were raised, but something was wrong. She had no hands. She was covered in blood and dirt, her face pale, her body trembling. It was a scene straight out of a horror movie. But this was real. This girl was Mary Vincent, and what had happened to her just hours before was beyond imagination. The events leading up to that moment began just a day earlier, on September 29th, 1978. Mary Vincent, just 15 years old, had left home to hitchhike to Los Angeles. She carried nothing but a note with her destination. A blue van pulled up beside her and two other hitchhikers. The driver was an older man with a grandfatherly appearance, overweight, balding, and soft-spoken. His name was Lawrence Singleton. He claimed he had room for only one passenger and insisted that Mary come alone. The other hitchhikers warned her not to go, but she ignored their concerns. She climbed into the passenger seat, never imagining that she had just made the worst decision of her life. For the first stretch of the ride, everything seemed normal. But after some time, Mary dozed off. When she woke up, she saw road signs that didn't match their intended direction. Singleton was driving the opposite way. Panic set in. Mary searched for something sharp, gripping a metal stick she found on the floor. "Turn around right now," she demanded. Singleton, appearing surprised, agreed and turned the van around. But moments later, he pulled off to the side of a desolate road, claiming he needed to use the bathroom. He suggested Mary stretch her legs. That's when she made a fatal mistake. She stepped out of the van. As Mary bent down to tie her shoe, Singleton struck her in the back of the head with a hammer. Darkness swallowed her. She woke up inside the van, bound and helpless. Singleton spent the night brutalizing her in ways too horrific to describe. Her pleas for mercy meant nothing to him. By morning, the nightmare should have ended. Instead, it got worse. "Do you want to be free?" Singleton asked. Mary nodded, desperate. That's when she saw it. The hatchet. Before she could react, he swung it down onto her left arm. The pain was instant, searing. He struck again and again, severing her arm just below the elbow. Blood splattered the dirt. Then, he grabbed her other arm and did the same. Singleton threw Mary's body off a 30-foot cliff and left, convinced she would never be found. But Mary wasn't dead. Her arms were severed, her ribs were broken, but she pressed her wounds into the dirt to stop the bleeding. She crawled for miles, naked, bleeding, exhausted. Many drivers passed her. They saw her, but they didn't stop. Then finally, a couple did. Mary identified Singleton, leading to his arrest. In court, she faced him once again, standing strong despite his attempts to intimidate her. She fought for justice, not just for herself, but for future victims. Despite Singleton's threats in the courtroom, Mary refused to be silenced. Years later, when Singleton brutally murdered Roxanne Hayes, Mary came forward to testify at his trial, ensuring that he would never walk free again. Her courage and resilience led to the creation of the Singleton Law, which increased sentencing for criminals who commit violent, torturous crimes. This time, there was no escape for him. He was sentenced to death, but fate intervened. Singleton died of cancer in 2001, never facing true justice. Mary Vincent survived the unthinkable, but how many others like her didn't? If you came across someone like Mary on the road that night, would you stop to help? Or would fear keep you driving? Today, Mary is an artist, using her work to heal and inspire others. Through her art, she channels her past into powerful creations, proving that even after facing unimaginable evil, the human spirit can rebuild itself. If you're inspired by Mary's strength, don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories.